edition of the GCWFL Sportscenter. Would Pastor Curtis rebound from his first loss of the season? Would Jason snap his losing streak? Would there be any Monday night comebacks? And would the defending champions remain undefeated?
Third down and 5, nickelback was Sertan. That's caught by Muhammad. Found the seam. It's a foot race. Hussein Muhammad for a touchdown.
Welcome to the ZSPN studios, everyone. First, let's go to the closest game of the week. The California Quakes and the Logan's Mill Hats with a barn burner. For Wayne, the big story of the day was the injury to Brian Greasy, who only scored 2 points thanks to this brutal hit.
Second and 11. Greasy hit hard, and that is almost intercepted. Greasy's hurt, too, it looks like. It's going to be Champ Bailey that comes off the edge to get him. Here comes the blitz. Both corners, double cat blitz. Champ Bailey just puts his helmet right under his shoulder as Greasy unloads it.
Ouch, that one's got to hurt, not only for all those Buccaneers fans out there, but also for the Logan's Mill Hats, as the 2-point total by Greasy is the difference in the game of the 2-point loss. And also the controversial play in the Bills game where Robert Royal, the starting tight end for the Logan's Mill Hats, caught an 8-yard pass, fumbled the ball, and the announcers were questioning whether it was in fact a fumble or whether the player's knee was down. But the coach chose not to challenge it, costing the Bills the ball and also the Logan's Mill Hats 2 points and the difference in the game. The star for Logan's Mill was in fact Brandon Jacobs, the former California Quake. On the Quake side of things, Michael Turner made his big return back against his former team, putting up 121 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown, and a rush over 20 yards for a 20-point total. Also, Warwick Dunn coming back against his former team with 10. The California Quakes go on to win it 90-88. Another close game this week was the Commissioner versus EVV, and Chris came up 3 points short as EVV wins it 107-104. For Eric, the star of the game was Eli Manning, filling in for Brett Favre, who's on a bye. Manning had 267 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a pass for over 40 yards for a 24-point total. And EVV was also helped by one of his favorite players in the Redskins game.
And then they pull another trick out of their bag. Antoine Randall-L's running. Now he's throwing, and Chris Cooley's scoring.
Wow, that's a beautiful trick play there on the reverse pass by Randall L. For Chris, he could point to several different things. I mean, he had great performance from Steve Slayton, Hushmanzada, and Roddy White, all with over 20 points or more. And Cutler with an okay performance at 16. But Larry Johnson, only 2 rushing yards, no points. Eddie Royal, 2 points and an injury. But the biggest thing that most pundits would point to is D'Angelo Williams on the bench, scores 36 points in a outstanding performance versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Handoff, D'Angelo Williams. Oh, look at him fly into the secondary and into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown today.
We've all been there, had that guy leave on the bench that blows up like that, but he'll be shaking that one off next week as Thomas Jones comes back into the lineup. But another great win for EVV after starting off in the hole there, 0-3. He's come back for 2 straight wins and he's right back in the race. Yet another close game between Curtis and Matt. Curtis coming back off of his 3-0 start, looking to rebound from his first loss last week. And he came up 6 points short as Matt pulls out the win 89-83. For Curtis, Roma put up a pretty good performance, as well as Matt Forte, but other than that, and Edgerrin James had a decent performance, but he really had some holes in the lineup. Justin Gage, no points with an injury. Matt Jones, just 2. And Daniels, the tight end for Houston, with 4 points as well. And interestingly, on his bench was Aaron Rodgers, who put up 36 points and would have, in fact, given him the win had he started him over Romo, although no one would probably suggest that that would have been a smart play at the time. For Matt, really the difference was his two top wide receivers, Lee Evans and Larry Fitzgerald, combined for 42 points in the Bills-Cardinals game.
They bring forward Lossman. Buys some time. Up top deep. He's got him in. Evans. Lee Evans, touchdown. Again, the Arizona Cardinals drive the field. Again, they score. It's Larry Fitzgerald on his back.
A nice performance there by Matt to pull out the win. After the Week 3 beatdown by EZ, he comes back with 2 straight wins and improved to 3-2, and in a tie for first place in the division with Wayne and EZ. In news around the NFL Network last week produced the story of the 1990 Buffalo Bills entitled Missing Rings. Here's a clip from that.
And it is no good. He missed it to the right with 4 seconds to play.
Man, I'm gonna need a second. Yeah, that was not a good decision. But moving on from that to a battle of other losing championship teams, we had a matchup between Jason, who lost the championship in year 1, versus Brent, who lost the championship game last year. And Brent pulls out another big win, 125-91. For Jason, Randy Moss chipped in with 22 points, Joseph Adai with 13. But 2 of his bigger performances were from Bernard Berrien and Tim Hightower, both on the bench. For Brent, it was really a balanced attack, the highest score going to the Panthers' defense with 31. But if you could highlight one key performer, it would be Ronnie Brown with another big game and a 21-point performance.
Ronnie takes the handoff, goes right up the middle, dances to his right, now breaks forward.
It's gonna be
Yes!
touchdown!
A block by Chad Pennington and a touchdown by Ronnie Brown. That was one blue ribbon play right there by Ronnie Brown.
Well, I don't really know what a blue ribbon play is, but it looked good unless you're a Elderwood Eagles fan or anyone like myself who hates the Dolphins. Moving on to another matchup. They say that it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, but if you look at the schedule last week, it actually was Adam and Steve. In a 31-point victory for Greenbrier Demon Slayers, 102-71. For Adam, it was Ben Roethlisberger with 34 points and basically not much else besides that. Only Donald Driver could crack into double digits, and McAllister with 1, Peterson with 3, and fan favorite Miles Austin held scoreless. For Steve, it was all Kurt Warner and Clinton Portis putting on the hurt. And for Steve, Clinton Portis had a big game, 145 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown, 13 receiving yards, 2 rushes over 20 yards. And after the game, a reporter caught up with Clinton Portis in the Greenbrier locker room.
What are you guys feeling right now about the way you're playing ball?
We're feeling like a team. We're playing great team ball, offensive, defensive, and special teams. We're doing this together. It's no one-man show. It's nobody think they're bigger than the team. Everybody just coming together and playing.
Clinton Portis with some nice words there, and Steve with another nice victory. His team's looking pretty good these days. Moving on to the marquee matchup of the week, it was the top 2 teams in the power rankings coming in. Derek Cribbs in first place, 4-0. EZ second place, 3-1. And Derek Cribbs remaining undefeated with a 108-85 win, thanks to Jake Delhome's 21 points, Mushin Muhammad's 15 points, Bears D 23, and Andre Johnson's 22-point performance.
First and goal at the 5. Rosenfels takes the snap, steps out to the right, wants to throw it back in the end zone. Caught by Andre Johnson.
For EZ, there really wasn't a whole lot to be proud of other than the late comeback on Monday night by Drew Brees, 22 points. The Vikings D had a strong performance, but Brandon Marshall just 2 points, Chris Johnson just 4, and even Marion Barber just 8 points. So second straight loss for EZ. For Derek, he now has a 2-game lead on the entire league, and he's looking strong. We may have to rename the league the GCWFL. Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of Sportscenter. Thanks for tuning in. So long, everyone.